Coming up today on That LTD Life, I'm checking out RecRam. This is a very interesting tool that allows your customers to submit videos or audio recordings to you with the click of a button. And maybe you want to get some user feedback or a survey. Well, there are forms built in, and inside of those forms, you can ask for video or audio recordings as well. There's even a little widget you can embed on your website. I'm going to show you all of the features, tell you exactly what I think, tell you about some of the bugs that I found, and a lot of the good things as well. This is That LTD Live. Let's head over to the AppSumo deal page. All right, so here is the AppSumo deal page. RecRam is currently $69. There are 4 different plans available. We'll go through this a little bit more inside of the video, but essentially you're gonna wanna look to tier 2 and above because that gives you all of the features. You can see capture not included here. Again, more details on that in a moment. All of the features I do think you're going to want for most people. So $169 is the lowest price point that I would basically recommend. You're gonna get 8,000 video impressions monthly, 5-minute long responses, and up to 900 responses per month. So I think for most moderate-sized businesses, this is gonna be a pretty good plan. If you need more than that, definitely go all the way up to tier 4. You get 5,000 responses a month, up to 20-minute responses, and 50,000 video impressions. Now, the video impressions are gonna be those little widgets that we'll look at momentarily inside of the tool. So that aside, let's go ahead and jump right into the tool. Oh, before we do that, I just wanna mention that this video is not sponsored. So if you wanna support this content, make sure you click on my AppSumo affiliate link before making a purchase. It gives me a small commission at no additional cost to you. All right, onwards to RecRam. So here is the RecRam interface. Now, there are really 3 different components to this tool. We've got forms, which are exactly what they sound like. Forms that people can submit. The killer feature is that they can also submit things like video or audio along with their form. We've got magnets, which are essentially widgets that show up on your website so people can easily find your forms. And then finally, we've got capture links. This is probably the killer feature of the tool. It's a simple link that you can send out via email, text message, whatever you like. It allows people to very easily submit videos, voice recordings, or send you files. Now, I'm gonna go through and show you each one of these one by one so you can understand what the tool really does. I'm gonna start off with capture links because I think they're the easiest to demo and kind of gives you an instant wow factor about the app. Okay, so to go ahead and create a new capture link, just choose the camera icon right over here. Then we'll choose new capture, and essentially we have a few settings to fill out. We can choose whether we wanna allow video recordings or voice recordings. You can also give people the opportunity to choose by leaving them both on. If you're gonna offer video recordings, you can default to a front or rear camera. So, most phones are gonna have multiple cameras. If you're looking for things like testimonials, start it off on the front camera. If you're getting product feedback or customer support for products, choose the rear camera. Then we can set our max record time. So this will be largely dependent on the AppSumo plan that you choose. Here is the AppSumo pricing tier. You can see that on tier 2, we get 5-minute recording length. On tier 3, we get 15-minute recording length. And on tier 4, we get 20-minute recording length. Now, keep in mind, 2-minute recording length on tier 1 does not apply for this specific feature because capture is not included on tier 1. Now, you're also going to want to choose your default language. Now, I want English to be the language that I choose, but I've noticed a little glitch in the system here that if you don't actually choose a language, it's going to actually default to, I believe, Turkish is my guess for what is showing up. So go ahead and choose English if you want English, even though it looks like it's already on English. Then everything will be fine. Just 2 more toggle switches here. One is for multiple capture. This means that people could send in files and video and audio if they wanted to. So multiple mediums that they're going to be submitting. We've also got multi-use access, which means that this link will be persistent and you can send it out to multiple customers. You can get a lot of submissions through one particular link. You could create unique links for every scenario if you want, but I think multiple use access is going to make the most sense for most people. So let's proceed to the next step here. I'll choose next, and there you go. That's it. I've got my link. So I would simply copy this, open it up on my phone or in my browser, and then I'd be able to send in a video. Let's try it out. I'll click the preview link here. It's just gonna open it up in a new tab. Now, it does give you this QR code to start with. So if you're seeing this on a computer and maybe you wanna take a video of a product, it does let you know that, hey, you can scan this QR code and then just immediately begin recording on your phone. It's the same link. They just give you the QR code to the link. But for this purpose, I'm just going to go ahead and record on desktop. Now you're going to see a kind of low quality video of me here. That's because I'm using my monitor's webcam and it's just not that great. You can see it's really grainy and stuff. That's not a reflection of RecRam. That's more just the low quality camera that came on my monitor. But essentially what I could do is choose whether I want to record a voice recording, and I could do that here. Let's do a little voice recording. And you can see the 2-minute countdown. Hey, I'm recording my voice right now, testing this out. One thing I've noticed is that the stop button does not appear for the first 5 seconds. So if you want to make a video or audio recording shorter than 5 seconds, you're kind of out of luck. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that. I can preview it if I want to check the quality or maybe do another take because I didn't do something right. I could go ahead and delete it and try it again. For now, I'm just going to hit that check mark. All right. Now that will be submitted, but I can go ahead and add in another one here if I want. Choose add media. Maybe I switch over to a video and let's try this. So I'll hit record. It's going to give me a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And here we go. So I'm recording, telling you all about the problem I'm having with whatever I purchased from you. If I was doing this on my phone, by the way, I'd be able to easily walk around and actually video the item or whatever trouble I was having. And then I can go ahead and just submit this video. I hit stop. Here we go. So I'm recording. And it's immediately playing back for me. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this and let's go ahead and confirm the recording. And there we go. Now I've got my second piece of media to be uploaded. Again, that's because I had multiple captures enabled. Now I could also upload a file here. I'll just choose upload. I'm gonna choose add media and then I can just drop a file in. I'm just gonna grab, I don't know, I've got this picture of myself. I'll drop that in there so that we can just see what an upload looks like. And let's go ahead and send this. All right, successfully sent. I can go back over to my RecRam dashboard and we should see that submission. All right, so let's close this window and let's reload here. You can see there's 3 submissions because I sent in 3 different pieces of media. If I click on this, I can see all of the media in that submission. So very cool here. I could also choose an AI insight. It's gonna go through and analyze my overall submission. It should give me a technical analysis, a sentiment analysis to decide whether I'm angry or happy. And then I've also got my diagnostic results here and recommended action. So this is all kind of processing at the moment. We are starting to see some information here. Stop button functionality. The stop button is intentionally or unintentionally disabled for the first 5 seconds of recording. So I was actually able to deduce that from just my little commentary as I was recording. You can see how this would be very, very helpful, especially if you're collecting support issues at scale and you've got, hundreds or thousands of different support requests coming in for a product you're selling. Having this all transcribed and the overall issues detailed out for you could save you tons and tons of time. Here's what the sentiment analysis looks like. Overall, it gives it a score. We can see the primary emotion here is frustration. My intensity is low and my risk level is low, so it's good to see that. Frustration level is medium, so it says, so if you want to make a video or audio recording shorter than 5 seconds, you're kind of out of luck. So that's just a little snippet of what I said. Then we've got the key points, stop button, recording, and delay. So kind of calling out some of those keywords that I might have mentioned in my support request. Under diagnostic results, it kind of tells you what to do about it. So here it's just basically diagnosing the problem that you need to fix that button so that people can make longer videos in this instance, right? Then we've got our recommended actions over here, which it hasn't come up with anything quite yet. But otherwise, we can just see the information about whoever submitted the capture. So I'm on Mac OS, that's correct. I'm using a desktop on Chrome and in the United States of America. So all of that information is correct. I will mention that I had a struggle with this on Safari. The stop button just never shows up on Safari. So it works on the phone. So if you're on like iOS using Safari there, no problems. But on desktop Safari, it was not loading for me. In fact, I actually went to support for RecRam. It wasn't loading for me on any browser for a while. And they actually went ahead and fixed it before I made this review. So just full disclosure here, I gave them some feedback and they did react pretty quickly and come up with a solution. So definitely good to see that. I always like to see developers responding very quickly to support requests. That is very helpful. Okay, so that is the capture function. Now let's look at forms. Forms include captures, but not in the exact same sense. Actually, the forms that they have are pretty good. You can generate them yourself from scratch, or you can even use AI to have it generated for you. Let's go over to the form section, which is this icon right here. And I'll go ahead and create a brand new form. Now, one thing about forms is that they're organized into spaces. This is kind of like, in my opinion, it would be like departments, but I suppose you could organize it by clients. If you have a coaching service, you want to create a space for each client, you could definitely do that. But let's say it was like, technical support. You could very easily do that. Now, on that note, one thing I'll mention is that there is no screen recording for this application. I think a lot of people would really love to see that because a lot of software developers out there would use this tool if it had screen recording. That is not available yet. I believe the developer said they're looking into it, but right now they're kind of focused more on that video recording aspect. All right, so back to forms. I created my space here, and inside of the space, I can create a new form. I'll just hit this plus button, and then I can either create it myself, which I'll do first so you can just see what it looks like here. So choose create yourself, then hit create, and voila, we've got a form with a welcome page, a recorder, and an end page. So very much like a capture link, but not quite as simple because when you go to look at this, it's going to have, actually, let's publish it first and we'll just preview it. We've just got this welcome page. Obviously, we can customize this as we see fit. Then there is the capture page. Now, every single capture page has this kind of default video dumped in, which is a little bit annoying in my opinion. It'd be better if they just had a blank space and you could upload your own video. Instead, they've got this kind of awkward AI thing. So you'd replace that with your own kind of welcome video instructing a customer on what they should be doing in this, form submission, whatever you're after. So then they can choose whether they want to submit video, voice, or text. And obviously you could add a message here to describe what to do. We'll just send some text. All right, so hey, this is some text. We'll submit that. And then we go to the end page. And again, you can customize all of this exactly how you want. Now, let's go ahead and try the AI form builder so it can do things a little bit more extravagantly while saving us some time. All right, so back out in my technical support space, I'm gonna go ahead and create a new form here. This time I'll choose create with AI and hit create. Now it does give you some sample prompts here. There's one for a feedback form, one for a satisfaction survey, a customer satisfaction survey, usability, an event evaluation. So lots of different ideas. You could just replace it with your own business name. So let's try one of these. Let's say I was running an event, prepare an event evaluation for, and I'll say that LTD Live convention attendees. Imagine we have our own convention where we can all gather and discuss LTDs. All right, so that is my prompt for the form. You could go on as detailed as you want here. If you had specific questions you wanted asked, you could do that. I've tried that out. It works fairly well. So let's choose our language here. Once again, I'm gonna make sure to select English to ensure that it doesn't default to Turkish. And then under number of questions, you wanna go ahead and set however many questions you want the AI to think of. Remember, AI is going to be thinking of questions on your prompt. So don't choose too high a number here or your form will be too long and no one will want to complete it. I'm gonna choose 8. I think that's a pretty good number for an event evaluation. A little bit on the high side, but it'll work for now. We can choose an interactive video format if we wanted to have interactive video where we just saw on our other form or the videos on the side. We'll turn that on, I guess. And then we can have logical conditions. So, branching essentially, where if someone answers the one question, it might ask them another related to that. All right, we'll turn that on and see if it comes up with any logical conditions and hit generate. Okay, so now it's going through and processing our prompt and deciding on what questions to create. It says this takes about 1 to 5 minutes. In my experience, it takes a little bit less than a minute. So I'd expect that it's going to show up just about any second here. Yeah, and it did. And I didn't edit any of that out. It was from the time I hit generate until you saw the questions. That's how long it took. Okay, so here are the questions. We've got a welcome page and then we've got a thank you page. That's 2 out of the 8 questions. So that's why I chose a little bit of a higher number over here. So we've got an overall satisfaction rate, key takeaways, were you satisfied with the speakers at the event, the speaker feedback, a short video, so they're asking for video feedback, and if you have any suggestions for future events. You can see the icons here. These are all different types of questions. So let's actually jump into the editor and see what this looks like. I'm gonna create the form based on the preview, and then here we go. We've got the nice form builder. I kind of blasted through this to show you the settings before, but if we actually click on any of the questions, now we are inside of the editor where we can add our own language, our own videos in, our own logos, really whatever we like. Well, I mean, whatever we like within the limits of the builder. It's not like you can just move stuff around exactly where you want it, but it's very easy to add other elements in if you like. There's a few different layouts here. I could put like the video on the right if I wanted to. We could go to the next question here. You can see there's another video on this screen. I could adjust the position of this. So if it's a smaller video, I could align it because it's kind of full screen. It's not really gonna show very much difference. I guess I can have it bottom aligned, top aligned, or center aligned. No big deal there. But I can upload my own video or image here if I wanted. And then there's some playback settings like whether or not the video auto plays or whether it loops and things like that. Now over on the question side, if you click on this gear icon, you can choose the type of question that it is. So right now it's a rating question, meaning that we're going to be giving it a certain number of stars. I could choose this to be a net promoter score if I wanted to, or I could move it away from being a rating question at all. Maybe I wanted to ask just a regular dropdown. I could add my choices here so that people could choose from a dropdown and answer the question that way. But for now, I will stick with the rating. Let's go back to 5 stars here. You can change the button text, make this required if I want, kind of all of the normal stuff you'd see on a form builder. Yeah, let's just thumb through a few of these other questions so you get a good feel for what the editor looks like. So here is a multiple choice question with A, B, C, and D. Very type form if looking, see it's multiple choice. So I could change this to be a picture choice or a yes or no choice if I preferred. There's a randomize option. So if you want to make sure people are not just choosing the top answer, and that's why it got so many results, you could do that. Yeah, like I said, it's just a really solid, very easy to use form builder. No real issues with the form builder at all. So here's what a yes or no question looks like. We've got speaker feedback, so that's going to take me to a section where people can record video. Now, if I wanted to change this, just like our capture link, I could choose whether they can record video, voice, or text. Now, no file upload on this recorder. However, there is a file upload question type, so that actually might be better because usually when people are recording a video, they're not in a great position to go ahead and upload a file as well, especially if they're doing it on their mobile phone. There's also an appointment link if you want. This connects up to Calendly where you can just add in your Calendly link. I'd love to see an integration here with TidyCal because I think a lot of AppSumo customers probably have TidyCal accounts, but right now it works only with Calendly. Essentially, it will just embed your scheduler right here inside of the form. All right, and then here's what a text input looks like. So overall, form builder, very, very simple and easy to understand. Here's the thank you page. I could add my logo in here if I wanted. So when I'm all set, I'll just hit publish up here. Now on the publish screen, again, I kind of went past this very quickly on the first form. We've got quite a few options. I can just view it in a browser. It does give me a QR code if I want. I could also edit how it's shared on social media. So I can add an open graph image here. I can add the title and the description. And then I could, of course, share the link wherever I like, or I could embed it on my website. We just click right up here where it says embed. And then I've got the embed code right here. There's even some customization options. If you want to set a specific width, you can do that. You can see what it looks like on mobile as well as desktop. And perhaps most importantly, to some of you out there at least, there is webhook integration. So here it says you can add a webhook to automatically send form responses to another system. So if you want to connect this up to your CRM and it supports incoming webhooks, well, there you go. You've got a very nice video front end to get support requests into your CRM or into your help desk, whatever the case may be. All right, so that is the form builder. Pretty clean and simple. I like it a lot. I was originally having some trouble with the form builder, but once again, their support stepped up. They found the bugs, they fixed them, and everything is working really good now. The last thing to check out is the magnets, which is just those little widgets that connect you up to a form. So all you do, just like under forms, you created spaces. Well, under magnets, you create groups. So I've got a group created here called demo. I could create a new one if I wanted. It just looks like this. I'll stick with demo for now. And then I choose add magnet. Here's what the magnet builder looks like. I give the magnet a name like my magnet, connect it up to a form. I don't know which form this is. I didn't name them. So, that's kind of my fault. I could have definitely named my forms. That's easy to do, just right over here. You go under the forms and you can click on it and name it. Not hard at all. Just type right up there. But anyway, back over on my magnet builder, name your magnet, choose a form, and then you choose how to display it. Is it going to be vertical? Is it going to be horizontal? Is it going to be a pop-up? Or is it going to be full page? The widget itself that's going to live on the rest of your website, is that going to be a circle? Is it going to be a square? Or is it going to be a rectangle? Then do you want it to be small, medium, or large? I guess it was large by default there. Here's what small looks like. And you can choose between the left side or the right side of the screen. By the way, these little playback things that you're seeing, that's a Chrome extension that I have. That will not show up on your player unless you use the video speed controller. Here we go. Let's turn that off temporarily so you can see what it looks like. I'll reload the page. There, no little player, so it looks much better. We've got this tab features down here, which is actually the outline. So if you wanted to move away from the black outline, you can make it maybe on brand with your brand color or something to call attention to it if you'd like, but just know that the outline is over here. It's not really labeled all that clearly, but you can also add in some text like, hey, how can I help? or whatever you want to say, do something that makes sense for your brand. The last thing you'll want to do is actually upload your video. This is going to be playing when people click on it. So definitely upload a decent quality video here. You could do an image if you want, but definitely recommend just uploading a video. One little tip they could do, or one little, feature request, I guess, why not have a video recorder right here? It's capture after all. I mean, they could definitely capture the video and just allow you to easily record your video right inside their interface, but they want you to do that outside and then upload the file on your own. All right, so once you've finished your layout settings, you can move over to the next tab here, which is what pages it will show up on your site. So you can include your entire website, just going to show all pages, and then exclude certain URLs, or you can specify maybe I want it on my homepage and my homepage only. Well, let's try this out. So I've added my homepage. I'm just gonna add that one singular page, and then we'll move to the next settings over here, which is the mobile responsiveness. I'm just going to display it on desktop for now, although it will definitely work on mobile as well as tablet if you like. And the next option over here says settings, and here things get to be a little bit unclear to me. So we've got auto, which is checked by default, or blank S. I don't really know what they're asking here. They should definitely improve this user interface. The next option down below, it says don't show again, or blank S. Now I can intuit that this is going to have something to do with autoplay, and this is going to have something to do with showing up again multiple times, maybe if someone has already clicked on it or maybe submitted a form. I'm not entirely sure because it doesn't look like they finished this part of the UI, to be quite honest. So I'm just gonna leave it with the default settings as is, but if you're the developer out there and you're watching this, or maybe you're a user and you happen to have figured out what this does, definitely drop me a comment down below and let me know. All right, let's go ahead and create this thing. I'm gonna get it installed on my website. They just give me a little bit of JavaScript here. I can easily plug this onto my website. Now, if you are using WordPress, they do have a plugin for this as well, but I don't recommend using it. Probably just throw the script up into your script manager, and that's gonna be the easiest way to proceed. Now, I happen to be using Ghost for my website, so I'm just gonna go in the code injection area and just drop in my code here. I'll hit save and reload the site. And here we go. We've got our little widget showing up right here. If I click on this, it's gonna pop open my form. It's the That LTD Life Convention evaluation, and I could go ahead and start the evaluation here, fill out the form right on the site.
This is an interactive.
Of course, it's gonna play that weird little video as well. Overall, I mean, the form looks great on the site here. Probably one of the better looking forms I've ever had show up on a website that's embedded in a little widget. It doesn't feel like I'm using Intercom or something like that. It looks like, very unique and professional looking. Pretty impressive. Okay, so I did submit the form. If I go over to my technical support forms, I click in here, I will see my form submission. So there is what I typed in at the very end there. And we could actually export these to a CSV or do whatever we needed to do with those form submissions. Now there is a form overview screen where you can see kind of a culmination of how everyone has responded to your form and get a general idea on the feedback that you're receiving, right? So you don't have to go into every individual response to get an overall impression of how people are responding to your questions. Now, if you did want to do that, of course, you can go into the responses, like here's the response that I just gave. I can click anywhere on this line and it's going to open up that response, and I can see how it compares to other users. Like this is the same answer as 100% of other users because I'm the only submission. But you get the idea here. If you wanted to maybe find those, gems within your responses, you're doing some survey work, you want to figure out what your goals of your clients are, things like that. You could very easily see how do people stand out, or maybe why is this person so different than everybody else. There's a tagging system and a favoriting system as well. So you want to tag a particular response because it's very important or useful. You could easily do that. You can also favorite individual responses. So just simply check the submission that you want to favorite, then go ahead and choose the action favorite, and now it becomes one of your favorites. And then of course, they also have filtering of both the questions that were asked as well as the dates that they were submitted. So if you want to find only your responses from last year, very easy to do so. So that is RecRam. Overall, a pretty impressive tool. I could see myself using it for multiple applications, getting things like testimonials. That would be a very easy use case for RecRam. But you could also use it for consulting. If you're a consultant, you have people who are paying you for their advice. It'd be very easy to have some asynchronous coaching with a tool like this. The only thing it's really missing is that screen recording element that I'd love to see them add. It would really add so much to a lot of digital consultants like myself. I could totally use RecRam for asynchronous coaching if it just had screen recording, because very often I'm consulting people on their own websites or their own e-commerce businesses. But screen recordings aside, there is still a ton of utility here, particularly if you're doing physical products. Quick little story time here. I have a Traeger grill and the computer inside of it was glitching out, not working properly. The Traeger support, they didn't use RecRam particularly, but they asked me to submit a video while I was on the live chat with them. They're just like, hey, submit a video by clicking this link. I did it, popped open my camera. I could submit the problem I was having with the computer. Then they understood the problem more detailed and could easily send out the correct replacement part. It was a really great experience. And so I think that is going to be the future of tech support, as everyone gets everything delivered to their home and things end up being too big to return to stores anyways. Having video to showcase the problem is really a killer feature. So story time over. I definitely recommend RecRam. Definitely check it out, giving this one an 8.7 out of 10. If you found this video to be helpful, I'd appreciate it if you click on my AppSumo affiliate link in the description. It provides me a small commission at no additional cost to you. It allows me to continue to make these detailed review videos. Also, if you like the video, hit that like button, get subscribed if you're new around here, leave me a comment if you have any questions or even just for the algorithm. My name is Dave, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.